there's a certain portion of Caitlin Clark fans, the Delulu fans, the Maggie Clark fans, and they don't care who you are. You know, you could be a brother or a sister that enjoys watching Caitlin Clark play, be a huge fan. You could be a big-time Iowa fan, and they don't want to hear what you got to say if you're speaking the truth, if you're being even a little bit critical of Caitlin, you know. And right now, Caitlin Clark is becoming somewhat of an enigma. She is 23. I insist that she is only 23, but there are things that need to be cleaned up, shored up with her game. There's growth that's needed for her game. And one thing I cannot pretend, which you shouldn't pretend to do anything, honestly. You can't pretend. Well, in my case, I can't pretend to act like I'm not new to this. I've been watching women's college basketball before Caitlin Clark. You know, 1995, Charlotte Smith, North Carolina. You know, Marion Jones, North Carolina. 1995, first team I ever said, oh, let me watch the team. You know, and I became a Shamika Holtzclaw fan when she was with Tennessee, her and Tamika Catchings. So, you know, I'm not new to the game of women's basketball. You know, Caitlin Clark is not the greatest player. Now, she is my personal Iowa GOAT. We all know what she did at Iowa. She didn't win a championship, but she broke records, went to the national title game back-to-back years. The WNBA is a different animal. People I know told me myself, I knew personally, I knew it'd be an adjustment period. I thought that she might have overcome it. But the bad habits that I have been casually yelling about with Caitlin, see, I'm going to tell y'all like this. Caitlin brought me, not just me, but the whole Iowa fan base, utopia moments. And I call utopias buzzer beaters, game-winning shots, you know, putting the team on her back, propelling us to big runs, historic wins over South Carolina, getting revenge against LSU. You know, yeah, she lost her fair share. Indeed, she did. And we did a whole lot of winning. But now, you know, this is the big leagues. You know, this is the biggest stage, the grandest stage of them all. And Caitlin Clark's deficiencies are showing. She's going to have her moments. But you never know what you could expect. You don't know. It's a roller coaster ride. Literally, it's Six Flags right now. You might see Caitlin come out and drop 34. Then she might give you 8. She might come out and give you maybe 3 turnovers. But then she might come out and give you 7. You just don't know. Like, the only consistent part of her game is passing right now. And hell yeah, it pains me to say this, to admit this. And I want to see her work. I want to see her win. I'm not going to turn my back on Caitlin, but it's just so much that needs to be worked on. It's so much. She got to evolve. And I think the biggest thing, and this again, everything I say hurts, but I got to keep it real because they say the truth hurt, right? Do they say that or do they not say that? So I think Caitlin Clark, she got to check her ego at the door. I think the problem is teammates ain't going to say it. It might not be said at home. You know, not saying that she got the money to be able to live what she want, but it probably went over Caitlin's head at some point, because I could best believe that there's been times, you know, like your parents see everything you do, you know, especially her dad, and I bet you there's times that, and we're not gonna talk about that here. We're not gonna get into that, but I'm pretty sure he told her to dial it back, dial it down, focus on the game. You know, people got so many receipts on her game. And you say, how could you be one of her biggest fans, but you're going to sit up here and you're going to talk about her? Because everybody can get criticized, because nobody is perfect, because no superstar has a totally perfect game. And if you want to win, it's got to show in your play. I can't want to see Caitlin Clark win a championship more than her. I can't want to see her sacrifice more than she wants to. And when she doesn't have it going, we watching to see if she cheering for her teammates like she would for herself. You know, like doing a Liberty game, tongue out like Jordan. So if we're going to do a Jordan comparison, you got to live up to that standard. And hell, LeBron couldn't even live up to the Jordan standard, you know. And I just did a video yesterday talking about Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina Ionescu, she can drop 29, but she can drop 13. She don't care. It's about did she win. You know, yeah, she talented. Yeah, she's one of the best scorers in the game today. But she want to win. She already won a championship. She had big time help, but she adapted and she accepted the help that she needed to win. So we just want to see the legitimate, authenticated Caitlyn fans that hold her accountable and hold her to a different standard. We got bigger expectations. Nothing I'm saying is an ill intent or ill will, none of it. But she has to put her head down and she has to show us that she wants this. You know, they heap so much praise, so much attention, so much love, so much, recognition, rewards on Caitlyn so quick, so fast, so soon. The WNBA saw what she did at Iowa, and they just said, you know what, we're going to go all out, and we're going to make her this worldly basketball savior. And I just think, again, who's going to check Caitlyn? Like, can anybody? Christy Size wanted to see her shoot the J, shoot the mid-range sheet. I don't know what to say, y'all. But hopefully the Fever keep winning games, though. We re-signed Ari McDonald. Hopefully Clark can get this figured out. She's out again. Now it's a groin. I don't know. Last season I thought it was tough to know what to expect, but this season I really don't know what to expect. So, but guess what? The game's gonna continue. The game's gonna keep getting played. Nobody's bigger than the game. Y'all remember that. Ain't nobody. Yeah, Michael Jordan, the GOAT. But the game continued onward, didn't it? Is he still playing today? Even LeBron got to go sit down at some point, you think. So yeah, this is just a video. Hit the comment section up. Let me know what you think wrong with Caitlin Clark. How do you feel about Caitlin Clark? What do you think she needs to get to that next level? Because I don't know. I never seen this level of Clark, so I never seen this ineptitude. I seen some bad shooting nights, but nothing like the last couple of games. So, and now she's on the shelf again. I don't know. From a real Caitlin Clark fan, I just don't know how I feel about this right now. But I just hope she get out of this rut. I hope she, gets humbled. We all need humbling. We all need humbling, folks. We all need it. Nobody, the moment you get too big for your britches, that's what Granny used to say. The moment you get too big for your britches, then somebody needs to bring you back down to earth. And with that, we out.